Hey, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me. So today's reading is the person on your mind. What are their thoughts about you at the moment? All right. There's three groups for you to choose from. Group 1, the black and grayish stone. Group 2, the heart-shaped stone. And group 3, the clear quartz geode. So group 1, 2, and 3, the person on your mind, what are their thoughts about you? All right. If you want to pause the video so you can take a moment to choose your group, go ahead. But I will see you in your reading. Hi, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, the black, grayish, whitish, got a bit of blue in there too, rock, then this reading is for you, the person on your mind. What are their thoughts on you at the moment? We have the Emperor. So we have the Emperor upright. We also have the Eight of Cups upright as well. All right, so right now it feels like their thoughts on you are that you are incredibly strong. They think you have incredible resistance. No, that's not it. Is it resistance? So I definitely think resistance might be the wrong word, but they do feel like you are someone who is so reassured in yourself. They do kind of think that you are above them. Do they think you think that? They don't necessarily feel like you feel that way, but you know, in their perspective and what they've kind of noticed or established so far is that they kind of think you are better than them or above them. And that you might walk away from them even now or in the future. So if something is happening between you both, they kind of feel like you would be the one to walk away, or it would hurt them more if you were to walk away from them than if they were to walk away from you. But they do feel like it's a possibility that you could walk away from them in the future. For some of you, if this is like a newer connection, they kind of feel like you may walk away from them if they were to approach you. Yeah, they kind of feel like you wouldn't be receptive to them if this is like a newer connection. They do think about you being a great parent. They think that you are logical and overall like a great person. They believe you aren't or don't make decisions based off of emotion. It feels like they really respect this about you, but I feel like they respect you in general, but they do respect that aspect of you as well. They do think it is hard for you to open up though. And because it is, they do perceive you as, you know, finding it hard to open up. They do kind of feel like it's hard for them to get through to you. But they're not, even though they respect how like logical you can be, they also they're not a fan. They're not a fan of how stoic you can be at the same time. They don't necessarily dislike this quality about you, but like just for how they're able to like interact with you, they're not a fan of it, you know? They kind of are thinking that you aren't happy with them due to something that they may have done, or just like in their perspective, they kind of assume that you're not happy with them. They do think you have a lot of power and authority. They've also been thinking about the traditional values that you have as well. Or like if they don't really know you like that, the values that they think you have. And they also think you aren't planning to make any moves towards them either. They do think about how much of a great leader you are. They kind of think you would reject them if they asked you something or if they were to tell you how they felt. Like they kind of feel like if they were to approach you, that you would put away from them. They actually feel quite emotional about you, but they kind of think that you don't really care about how emotional they feel. Because like they kind of just see you as not being someone who is like overly emotional, or at least someone who's not very like open about being emotional or sensitive, you know. So they do also think you are holding on to the past. I mean, this could be in regards to them. This feels like it is mostly about them in terms of holding on to the past. Like they could have done something and they feel like you haven't let it go, or you're like still perceiving them as who they were, or whatever happened between you both in the past. But they do feel like you are enjoying your independence and freedom, and they kind of think you are moving further and further away from them, even if that's like not your intention. Because they already perceive you as above them, so you're almost like out of reach anyway, but like you're continuing going in a direction, and maybe they kind of don't see themselves like headed on the same, not a same, but same or similar path than you, that makes them feel like you're above them in the first place. And yeah, because of that they kind of feel like there's more and more distance between you both, or there will be. Okay. So we have rebellious. So they kind of feel like if they were to do something impulsive, maybe a bit rebellious or a bit risky. Rebellious doesn't really feel like the right word, but like a bit risky, a bit impulsive. They feel like you wouldn't respond well to them, like kind of approaching you in that way. They do feel at a loss though on like how to approach you, but they definitely think that if they were to approach you in a way that's chaotic or aggressive or too impulsive, that you wouldn't respond well to that, and it could just end up pushing you even more away. We also have sensitive. I mean, so we've already like kind of covered that they don't think you are very like the most sensitive person. But yeah, that's the only message that wants to come out with that one. We also have moralistic. So they think you care about doing the right thing, behaving in the right way, like being someone who is moralistic in a way. They do to some degree also think you care about how people perceive you. So at the moment, they actually do kind of think that you are wanting or preferring to keep things casual between the two of you. So we have time. I don't know where to put it. Let me put this a bit higher. So time was clarified by the Five of Cups. They feel like kind of right person, wrong time, or like the timing between you both has just been terrible, and that's something that they have been thinking about too. We also have, can I be that person? So they feel like they can't be your person. Like they feel like you may value or want, or something. This is just maybe something they just perceive or something that they know for sure. But they feel like you want someone who's stable, you want someone who's secure, dependable, someone who's respectable, someone that you can, respect, or someone you can trust. And they kind of think that they can't be that person for you, or you don't see them as being that person for you. So we also have, you have the qualities I look for in a partner. So they actually think that they don't have the qualities that you look for in a partner. We have, so you think I'm stupid. So with this card, they actually think that you downplay how smart you are, intelligent, or the awareness that you have, or the things that you notice and pick up. So what they've been thinking about you is that, not that they thought you were silly in the past, but they're kind of just thinking about how smart you actually are. That was clarified by the Ace of Swords as well. So we have, you are so beautiful. So they have been thinking about how beautiful you are. We also have, are you ashamed of me? So yeah, they do think it's possible that you are ashamed of them. Actually, no, they do think that. They do feel insecure. Do they feel insecure about how you see them? No, they don't necessarily feel insecure about how you see them, but they do think from your perspective that you are ashamed of them. We also have, moving on. So they think that they need to move on from you, clarified by the Hermit. We also have, I'm so comfortable around you. So they actually feel like eventually they could have felt extremely comfortable around you. But, with timing and everything between you both, they kind of just feel like that's something that's very, very, very unlikely to happen between you both at this point. And finally, we have, I can't move on. So even though they have intentions of moving on from you, they do feel like it will be very hard. Like, they do feel like they won't be able to move on from you. Not easily as well, like clarified by that Ten of Swords. But anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate and be helpful. But I'm wishing you all the best, alright? Take care of yourselves. Bye. Hey, welcome. I hope you're doing good. So if you've chosen the second group, the heart-shaped stone, then this reading is for you, okay? Alright, so the person on your mind, what are their thoughts about you right now? We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and we also have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So they think you are incredibly wise and independent. They do think things between you both are stagnant right now, and that there's nothing that they can really do to change that. They do love how responsible you are, though. They think about how wealthy you are, But this is in more ways than just financial. Like they feel like you have, what's the right word? They just feel like you have a rich life, you know? And again, it's like not all about money. For some of you, it could be referring to money as well, but it's more than just that. They do fantasize a lot about what being with you might be like if there wasn't that stagnant energy between you both. They think that you are or have been treated unfairly by other people. They do think people don't really understand you, and that a lot of people do hold a lot of misconceptions about you as well. They think you're someone that it would be hard to let go of and you would be hard to forget. Like they do feel like you are unforgettable. Like in their perspective, they do think you've experienced like a string of bad luck and they really feel for you. They feel like you are a great mom. They think you're so down to earth. They think you are someone who can't be tamed or who can't be controlled as well. Like they kind of just think there's been a lot of annoying and unfortunate wedges or like distractions between you both. You know, they kind of just feel like the timing has been off between you both. But they love how solid you are though. They believe you're dealing with a lot of chaos right now, or that's just like how they perceive it. But they kind of just think like you handle the chaos well. Like they feel like you handle stress incredibly well. Like you still manage to remain composed, chill for the most part as well. They do have this desire to look after you and treat you and nurture you, you know. They do think you're good with money too. They also think you're good with people. And they believe you live a simple life and possibly like a minimalistic life as well. They do think you are incredibly nurturing. So they do think about you being mature and they kind of think that you have shown a lot of growth as well. They do think you are down to earth and very wise. And they also think you're great at taking care of your family as well, which they love and admire about you. They think you've accomplished a lot for yourself and their thoughts about you are on how hardworking you are. And like there's a part of them as well that feels like you live an exciting life and they're really curious about what you get up to, you know? And they kind of feel this healing energy from you as well, which is something that they think about. Like they feel like they've become a better person since meeting you. So we have outspoken. What are their thoughts on you? So they don't necessarily think you're outspoken, but they do think you are very like assertive when you do speak. Like people, listen. Like you're very maybe a clear speaker. For some of you though, they do kind of think you are outspoken when you need to be or when you want to be. But for the most part, they actually think you're quite chill, you know? We also have modern. Okay. So they have been thinking that you're modern and maybe not very traditional in certain ways. So yeah, kind of similar to the message that came out. So we have straightforward, similar to the message that came out with outspoken. They don't necessarily think you're outspoken for the most part, but they do think you are very straightforward, you know. We also have fair. So they kind of feel like things haven't been fair between you both. Like this could come back again to like the distractions or like delays, the wedges between you both. They also think they haven't treated you fairly or like as they should have. So there is some remorse and some guilt over that. So we have tell me what it's going to take to make you mine. So what they think about is that they would love to know what action they should take to maybe solidify things between you both, for things to move forward between you both, if this is a newer connection, for them to be able to approach you. So that's something that they do think about. We also have, it's not just physical, this is also spiritual. So they do think about how physically attractive you are, but they also think about how spiritually attractive you are. So we also have I loved you too much. So with this I love you too much, this actually feels like something they're worried about. Like they're worried about falling in love with you, or kind of caring about you too much, or caring about you more than you possibly could end up caring about them. For some of you, it's as simple as like they're afraid of like opening themselves to loving you for it only to like not work out. So that's again like something that they're worried about. We have I want to feel your skin against my own. So yeah, another thing they do think about is about being physically closer to you. We also have I'm not financially stable. So for a lot of you, like they don't necessarily think they're not financially stable. They actually feel like they're doing quite well in terms of finances. But when they're to like factor in you or a potential future with you, they do kind of worry that they're not financially stable enough. We also have wild thoughts. So they have a lot of, that was clarified by the star, like they do fantasize about you quite a bit. Like they do have a lot of wild, kinky and sexy thoughts about you. We also have you seem a little shy and I find it so endearing. So they think you are incredibly endearing. So we have let's play some games, whips and chains. So they fantasize about playing games with you, but good games though, sexy games. But also like Let me see. Yeah, no, this feels mostly sexy, to be honest. Well, yeah, that's something that they do fantasize about and think about. And finally, we have trauma. So with this trauma card, they are kind of worried as well, and it's something that they think about. They are worried about hurting you. But that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could be helpful and resonate. But I am wishing you all the best, alright? Please take care of yourselves. Bye. Hi, welcome. If you've chosen the third group, the Clear Quartz Geode, then this reading is for you. The person on your mind, what are they thinking about you at the moment? All right, so cool. We have the Fool upright, we have the Empress in reverse as well. So when they think about you, their thoughts are about how impulsive and playful you are. And surprised, like they feel quite, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but they feel quite surprised at how mature you are in regard to certain things as well. And you know, they really like how impulsive you are, they really like how playful you are. They think that they can have a good time with you, or that they already do have a great time with you. They don't really feel like you know what you want right now, and this could be mainly referring to them or like something else of significance in your life, maybe career or friendships or a certain direction that you're taking. They could feel like you're focused on a lot of different things, which kind of gives them the impression that you may not be entirely sure on what you want. And for some of you, this could just be that they kind of think you're indecisive in general. And they also think you got jokes. Like they do feel like you are so funny. They really do think you're cool. You were honestly, they were really surprised by you. Like you were such a pleasant surprise for them. They think that you have high energy, or you're just very energetic in general. They don't think you're very grounded, but they quite like that about you. They feel like it works for you, that they kind of just feel like maybe that's just who you are, but they don't see it as a negative at all. Like they kind of think or get the impression that you're always on the hunt for something new, you know, whether that's opportunities or experiences or meeting new people, or you know, just different environments. Like they kind of feel like you're always up for and kind of, you know, setting your intentions towards something new, you know. At times they do kind of think you take too many risks, and they can think that you are unrealistic at times. They do think you can be a little bit self-centered as well, but they love that you are a dreamer, you know. Overall, they are extremely excited about you. They are a bit worried that they might become a bit too dependent on you, though. They may also be worried that you are too dependent on other people. And for some of you, I mean, this could be dependent in, like, I don't know, financially, maybe like in a social way, or like you need other people to make you, not make you, that doesn't feel right, but like, you know, like you need other people to make you feel like who you are, or make you feel safe, or make you feel seen. But that's another thing they do think about, actually. They do think about how confident you are. So sometimes they do kind of feel like you aren't as confident as you may appear. And if you think you are someone who isn't very feminine, they like that about you. They like that you're not super feminine. They sometimes think you are too sensitive, and they also see you as quite vulnerable at times. Like at times they do see you as someone who might need protecting. So we have impartial. So they think you are quite an impartial person, like they don't really think you pick sides. They kind of get the impression that you're not really into drama. Or when it comes to drama, like you can be quite impartial about it. We also have a cheeky. So yeah, kind of like similar to what came up earlier, like they do think you're funny. They could think you're a bit cheeky as well, but in a great way. You know, like they do find it endearing, like they do find it maybe quite charming as well. We also have supportive. So they think that you're like a very kind and supportive person, like not only towards them, but towards certain people in general. So we have pillow talk. So for some of you, they do think your pillow talks are interesting if this is something that you guys both do. For some of you though, this is something that they think about, like they do think the conversations you guys would have during pillow talk would be quite cool and interesting. We also have blah blah blah. So they want something new to be initiated between you both. Like say for example, let me see. It doesn't even really feel like they think things have been repetitive between you both or boring. But it feels like, yeah, clarified by the Nine of Swords, it feels like they kind of want things between you both to be continuously exciting, you know? So we also have it looks like I'm paying attention, but really I'm mapping out your nakedness in my mind. So they do think a lot about your body. For some of you, like when they're speaking to you or like when they're around you, sometimes they can't help but fantasize about you or think about like what does this person have on underneath, you know, or just kind of like picture you naked. We also have your mind back off my babe. So at times they do feel possessive over you. Like at times they do feel quite protective over you as well. So they also think about you kind of like being theirs and only theirs. So we also have let me feed you. Okay, so for a lot of you here, they actually think you're a great cook. Like they do feel nurtured by you. Like literally. We also have I want you close, please don't run from me. So they think about how much they love you having you around them, you know. They really like the relationship or friendship, whatever it is. Sorry about that, that you guys have with one another. So they do think about how beautiful your body is. They do think about how beautiful your skin might be. We also have you impress me more and more each day. So again, like, I feel like that message came up earlier. Like, they do feel surprised by you and they do think about how surprising you are. It's like, okay, I think you're one way and then you surprise me. Or I think, or I didn't know you had that hobby. Or I didn't know you were like, you know, well-versed in that type of topic. Like, you continuously surprise and impress this person, like, the more they get to know you. And finally, we have talk dirty to me. So for a lot of you here, like if you have spoken dirty to this person, they think about that quite a bit too. But yeah, that is all I have though for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could resonate and be helpful. But I'm wishing you all the best, all right? Take care. Bye.